So today we're going to be looking at this Air Water Life ionizer I had bought off Amazon. Have been looking at water ionizers. I first learned about a $3,000 one, done research on the internet, seen that they have everything from $1,500 to about $3,000 on the internet. Came across this one on Amazon, rated it very high in the 11 on the pH and negative 800 ORP. pH stands for the alkalinity of the water, so that's 11 pH is great. Negative 800 ORP. ORP stands for the antioxidants in the water. So what we're going to do now is we're going to first, these are my trusty instruments, my water testing vessel, aka a wine glass, and then the HANA pH and ORP meter. First we're going to look at the pH of the water and the ORP of the water coming out of my faucet. That'll be a good place to start so we can see what the machine's actually doing. Okay. Well, it looks like, let's call it an 8.4. Looks like it's going to settle on 8.3, 0.7. Okay, let's just say 8.3. And ORP of the water, and see how ORP works. You want a negative number. That means it's good. Positive number means it's bad, it's oxidizing. So this is the water coming out of the faucet. Of course it has chlorine in it too, probably, not good for you. So it's positive 255, what it looks like. So this is the first level on the machine. This is the initial drinking water. Okay, first we're going to set for pH. Okay, so 8.3 to 8.7. That's what it does on the first level. See, as far as ORP, okay, that's not good. That means it's not really, it's very a positive number, 220 is, very positive. That means the water coming out on level 1 is very oxidizing. So, all right. Now we're at the drinking water level. From all my research, this should be like 9.5, negative like 300 at least. First we'll start with the pH. All right, so 8.8, not that good considering we're starting off with 8.3. This is a big one too because this is the ORP of the machine. Still really positive. Okay, well, positive 160, definitely not a good number. You want negative numbers, remember, so that's not good. So we'll just say positive 160, give it the benefit of the doubt. try on the next level here. This is supposed to be for brewing coffee and tea. Start with the pH. So it takes it from 8.3 to 9.1 on level 3. And this is not even for drinking, this is for coffee and tea. Putting it up, you know, 0.8. Might creep up to 9.2, doesn't look like it. Now we're going to look at the ORP on the machine. Remember, I think we started off with positive 200. It's level 3 with the machine. Still a positive number. Not good. Yeah, you want this number to be negative 3, 4, 500, not positive. So, okay, level 4. This is where they advertise the negative or 11 with negative or 800 ORP. First we'll do the pH. Okay, so we started off with 8.3 water. This has brought it up. Benefit of the doubt, 9.24, 10 times the amount of alkalinity. So basically, we start out with the water in my faucet because we have mineral-rich water here. At an 8.3, this bumps it up. Let's even say 9.3. So it bumps up 10 times the amount. Now, what they advertise is 11. So most of the folks in the U.S. I know have about 7 pH groundwater. So that means it's bumping it up 4 points. From 8, or let's say 7 and 8, that would be 10 times the amount. 7 and 9, that would be 100 times the amount. 7 to 10 would be 10,000 times the amount on top level at 11. So what we're getting here is a 9.24. They advertise 11. This is very, very, very far off. It's supposed to bump it up 10,000 times. This is bumping it up 10 times. Now this is the ORP. They advertise the negative 800. Okay, so we're still positive. That means that it's not anywhere close to the antioxidant numbers that they're advertising. Started off at positive 200, we're still at positive 28. Roundabout, we're looking at the machine, looking at the pH and the ORP coming out of the machine. It's not measuring up. Positive 29 is not negative 800. 9.2, 9.3, let's say, is not 11 pH. So second part of our test here is there's one filter inside here. I'm going to take it out right now and show you guys. This is the filter they give you. It's about the size of my palm. We're going to see maybe if taking the filter out will increase the pH and antioxidant count numbers for some reason, and we'll just run tap water straight through the machine. Because at that point, when you take out the filter, there's nothing filtering, nothing filtering the water. So that'll be the second part of our test. We're also going to go ahead and open this machine up. I got a friend here that has some tools, and we're going to look at the actual plates inside the machine. So thanks for watching, and then we'll be on to the second part of our test right now. Okay, so now This is the filter compartment. Took this off, obviously. A little wet here because we were just doing the water test. We're going to unscrew that. Take the filter out. This is the filter that's supposed to take out all the junk that's in tap water. I think we're at like a 9.4 pH on top setting with the filter in, so we're going to start on level 1. Let's go level 1. Water going into the glass. So that's level 1. .6. The water coming out of the, through the faucet's 8.4. So it bumps it up about 0.6. It looks like. Do a quick test on the millivolts as far as the antioxidant properties. Well, this definitely isn't good. It's still at a positive. So what that means is the water coming out of the system, we already tested, it was around a positive 200. This is still dropping a little bit, but this is still on the positive side, meaning it's an oxidant rather than an antioxidant. So that's still plus 1, let's call it 125 to be fair. So water coming out of the system, level 1 without the filter. That looks like it adds a little minerals, to be honest with you, by the feel of it. Looking at the numbers here is only bringing the water up 0.2 points on the pH and not really doing anything for the antioxidant properties because it's still, as you see, an oxidant because it's plus 125. So level 2, which is supposed to be the drinking water, daily drinking water, water coming out of my tap, 8.3. Almost 8.4. Water coming out of the machine, 8.7. So not really doing a lot to the pH. Now this is once again, the antioxidant properties. Positive number bad, more negative number good. Coming out of my faucet, positive 200. Coming out of this machine, level 2. Looks like it's really positive still, which you want negative numbers. This machine advertises negative 800. So that positive 141, not a good number, still means it's an oxidant. Machine's not really doing a lot. Okay. Level 3. Okay. Since we already have it on the ORP, let's do ORP first. Okay, this one's doing a little better. It's still positive. Positive 90, positive 88, 86, 85. All right, well, not good numbers. It's positive 200 to start out with. Still dropping a little bit. This is still positive. There's no negative sign in front of it. Well, fair enough. We're still positive 70 on level 3. Definitely not a good sign. Okay, we're going to do the 4th level. Mind you, this is without the filter inside, so at this point, let's see. This is the ORP. This is the top setting. We can get a good shot of that. All right. Well, machine advertises negative 800. Saw the numbers with the filter inside. We're a little bit negative. This is still positive. This is on level 4. This is supposed to be either 11 pH, negative 800. Not even close. Still positive. Now let's test the pH. Okay, oh, 8.93. It's not 11. Obviously, because this number is lower, without the filter inside, it pretty much, and this is what I thought, this filter, it kind of seems like it's adding minerals or something that would make the pH go up. Ionizers don't, from all my research, don't have to use minerals to make the pH go up. All of it's done by the electrolysis, the plates inside. So this is about 0.2 off from what the top level is with this filter inside. So that means that this filter, whatever is inside it, bumps it up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut this thing open. We're going to see what's inside. So what we were seeing with the test is that the filter actually bumps up the water. So we want to see what's actually in the filter, because what I would think is they're putting minerals into the water and it's not even really a filter. So it's supposed to filter out the contaminants in your water. And right now we're, with the test we did, we saw that the water with pH was bumped up. So that means it's a mineral filter rather than an actual filter. Okay, so we got it open. This is the filter, this is the top of the filter. That's what's inside. So what this is, looks like a mixture of carbon and probably some minerals. Did take me a little bit of time to cut this thing open, but I'm glad I did. Filters, once again, should have layers in them, should be different media. It shouldn't just be carbon and magnesium. I'm going to explain why you don't want just, magnesium, calcium, and all the carbon, is because what this filter is, it's basically media that bumps up. Because when we did our test, we saw that with the filter in, it was actually getting higher pH and ORP numbers. That means they need to use the filter to put minerals inside the water, and it's not what it should do, which your filter should be filtering out contaminants, not used to make up for obviously a lack of performance in the machine. So what we're going to do at this point, got the filter open, one chamber, I guess some minerals and carbon, that's what they put in their filter. This came in the box as well. Kind of found it funny, I just saw this. Attention, do not call or return to Amazon. Call us at this number. Obviously, if they're stating a bunch of high pH and ORP numbers, people probably aren't getting them just like me, because obviously I started out with extremely alkaline water, and it's not coming up that much at all for me, so I'm sure they're having problems. They're asking you to call them directly. So probably an indication that I'm not the first person that couldn't get their pH and ORP numbers. So what we're going to do now, last part of the test, we're going to open this sucker up. Probably means I won't be able to return the thing, but to be honest with you, it's worth it. A lot of people look for these things for health reasons. So I'm glad if I have to spend $900 to hopefully somebody else doesn't get ripped off and doesn't get a machine that doesn't work as well. So I have my friend here. He's a lot more handy with a Makita than I am, and he's going to take the machine apart. We're going to look at that chamber inside. So now we have the ionizer plate system. That, I've seen platinum before. That definitely doesn't look like platinum. If it cost me $900 to tear this thing apart, show that A, it's using a mineral filter, one-stage filter with just carbon in it. It's using steel plates, extremely small steel plates. I don't know why you'd use small steel plates, because it's cheap to use. Steel's, very inexpensive material compared to platinum and titanium that the other ionizers use. Small dinky power source. The water's not going up very high. To be honest with you guys, I'm glad I did this. Save your money. Buy one that's going to work, one that's going to last, and not from some shoddy manufacturer. Obviously knows they have problems with their systems. They put that in every package. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hi, I'm Gerald Kostica, And today we're going to be discussing the competition. When you hear the word competition, what comes to mind? When I hear that word, I envision two closely matched competitors, whether it's two athletes or athletic teams you might see on television on Sunday, or vocalists you may see on a singing competition show, or two evenly matched products trying to earn my business as a consumer. The thing that all of these examples have in common for me, and I think for most people, is that in order to really be considered competition, the two sides need to be able to compete. I think you can agree that watching a pee-wee football team face off against a professional football team would not be the most enjoyable game to watch. In fact, the extreme differences in abilities wouldn't make the game fun at all. It would make it a waste of time. Unfortunately, in the ionizer industry, there are a lot of pee-wee teams out there trying real hard to convince consumers that they can play in the pros. But folks, it's just not true. The truth is that there are a lot of lower quality ionizers being promoted as just as good or even better than the industry recognized gold standard machines produced by Enagic. This amazing technology is starting to spread throughout the United States, but it's still early and consumers are still learning about ionization and ionized alkaline water. Unfortunately, it is during this time when consumers are just becoming familiar with the product that the most people will be duped into purchasing a lower quality product based on nothing more than a lack of complete understanding of the technology and some false or misleading information. The vast majority of other ionizer companies are virtual, internet-based resellers that I often refer to as spin masters. These are people that can turn babble into benefit, flaws into features, garbage into gold. Their expertise is convincing consumers that an inferior product is superior by spinning the truth, providing misleading or false information, or by redirecting a person's focus. You see, while these people may be devious, they are not dumb. In fact, they are very cunning and calculating in their approach, and they have a systematic way that they do things. This is what they do for a living. You have to understand that there is a lot of psychology and emotional manipulation employed by these people. They've worked very hard to develop a way to manipulate information and utilize emotional response in order to sway people to purchase their products. If a reasonable person took a no-nonsense, common-sense look at these other sellers from the perspective of a consumer, there would be no way that someone would purchase their products, and they know it. This is why they engage in spinning their product features, redirecting emphasis on price instead of benefit, and attacking method of market introduction instead of product quality and performance. They know that this is what they have to do in order to effectively sell their machines. The majority of these other ionizer sellers even try to compare their ionizers to the Enagic ionizers. It is common knowledge that product comparisons are used in marketing and advertising in an attempt to elevate an inferior product to the level of a superior product. Almost all consumers know that the product doing the comparing is the inferior product, and the product being compared to is superior. Why else would they even compare? Most of the other ionizers compare themselves to Enagic ionizers, which is the gold standard in the industry, and compare themselves to no one else. Many of them also engage in what is referred to as predatory marketing, meaning that they create marketing and advertising campaigns that prey on prospects created by someone else's efforts, most of the time from the efforts of an Enagic distributor. You see, because most of these other ionizer sellers have little at risk, they are not willing to put much into actually trying to procure their own customers. They rely on trickery, deception, high-pressure sales techniques, and manipulation of emotional response to get consumers to purchase their products. Most people don't truly understand just how much time and money it takes a company to turn a consumer into one of their customers. In marketing, this is referred to as cost of customer acquisition, meaning how much money a company actually has to spend on average in order to earn the business of each consumer. Most of these other ionizer companies are not willing or even able to invest the substantial amounts of money necessary to develop and secure their own customer base. Instead, they use every underhanded technique they can come up with in order to get one of our prospects to stumble across their product information. They are not taking the time and money needed to develop a sales force that can educate consumers in this new market about this unfamiliar technology. They do not embark on major campaigns to prove to consumers that the product they have to offer is really the best one available or even worthy of a consumer's consideration. All they do is wait until an unsuspecting prospect gets tangled in their web of internet-based misinformation and deceit, and then they strike. These types of tactics are really the only way they can compete with the quality of our products, which is why they never go head-to-head with us. They may post biased reviews, comparisons, and even manipulated laboratory results. But the reality is that if the top 5 brands on the market were to go head-to-head against the SD501 under identical testing conditions and testing protocols, the SD501 would emerge as the absolute undisputed champion. It is the difference in quality that leads us to another major difference in our marketplace introduction of our products, which is our ability to bring this technology to the commercial market. You see, the competition may be able to dupe the average, uninformed consumer, but it is much more difficult to pull the wool over the eyes of a business customer. The scrutiny made by a commercial customer is much greater, as the purchase can affect more than just them. It may also affect their customers and livelihood. It is for this reason that most of the other ionizer companies don't even bother trying to approach commercial accounts. They know that their products do not comply with necessary certifications and simply cannot stand up to the rigorous requirements of commercial use. On the other hand, the Enagic products are more than able to stand up to the intense scrutiny and expectations of commercial applications. They have the certifications and the level of quality necessary to perform in a commercial location. You see, I've had a lot of experience dealing with other ionizer brands. And while some refer to them as competition, the reality is that the only competing that is being done is them competing with us. If you have lost any sales to low quality, cheap priced machines, it is typically for one of the following reasons. First, the value of the product has not exceeded the price in the mind of the prospect. One of the reasons we provide samples is so prospects can see if they experience any benefit, which will, if they do, increase their perception of the value of the product. With enough benefit of value, also known as worth, that then exceeds the cost and the price of the product, and it becomes justifiable. Second, they don't know that Enagic offers different models of ionizers. If they insist on shopping price, the Level Up R is by far the best quality product of its kind for that price. What people have to realize is that the other ionizer sellers are not going to admit that their best machines can't even match out our lowest price machine. So they compare theirs to the SD501 or even the K8. Otherwise, they would have to concede and admit that what Enagic has is superior. Their $2,000 product is not the same as our $4,000 product. If your prospects want the best value for their money, they should only be looking at Enagic products, and they should purchase the product that best suits their budget and needs. The reality is that being the best model of Hyundai doesn't somehow make it a Mercedes. It doesn't work that way. Third, the prospect doesn't understand that if you're looking for a discount ionizer, they're basically saying that they don't really value their health. The old adage, you get what you pay for, applies to ionizers just like it does every other consumer product. There is a difference between a Timex and a Rolex. And there is a difference between a food-grade, low-quality water ionizer made in Korea and a medical-grade, high-quality water ionizer made in Japan. If the difference in price between the best and the rest is just $1,000 to $2,000, isn't your health and the health of your loved ones worth just that little extra bit of money? There are plenty of things in this world that you can shop for discounts. Your health should not be one of them. Unfortunately, many people have been convinced that going with a discounted product won't hurt them. But consider the 99-cent menus filled with complete junk with no nutritional value, or the 79-cent super big gulps that are so bad for you that they should have a Surgeon General's warning on the cup. Think these are helping people, or are they killing them? Are they really getting a value, or are they paying the correct price for the low-quality item they are buying? People need to break free from this self-destructive cycle of accepting declining health in the name of discounts. And you may need to help them realize that this is exactly what they're doing. Empower your prospects with knowledge and approach them with compassion and have the desire to help, and you will have done your job, even if they never buy anything from you. If they decide to do something else, you can sleep well at night, knowing that you gave them all the information you could to help them make the best educated choice possible. Some people will just make the wrong choice. Unfortunately, that's just people. All you can do is move forward and stay focused on Enagic's mission of spreading true health and representing the gold standard in the water ionizer industry. Just remember this: when you're the best, you really don't have any competition. This brings us to the end of our episode. I hope you enjoyed our topic and that you found the information useful. Be sure to check out our video library for other helpful hints as you discover the incredible ways that changing your water can change your life. Until next time, be informed, be prepared, and be inspired.